Good day. It's windy here in 3 Points, Arizona. I hope your day is going well. It's a continuation of what we were kind of talking about yesterday from the same book, The Four Agreements. We dishonor ourselves. We dishonor ourselves just to please other people. We even do harm to our physical bodies just to be accepted by others. You see teenagers taking drugs just to avoid being rejected by other teenagers. They're not aware that the problem is that they don't accept themselves. They reject themselves because they are not what they pretend to be. They reject themselves because they are not what they pretended to be. They wish to be a certain way, but they are not. And for this, they carry shame. They carry guilt. Humans punish themselves endlessly for not being what they believe they should be. They become very self-abusive, and they use other people to abuse themselves as well. But nobody abuses us more than we abuse ourselves. And it is the judge, the victim, and the belief system, or perceptions, in other words, that make us do this. True, we find people who say they say their husband or wife or mother or father abuse them, but you know that we abuse ourselves much more than that. We as adults, that is. The way we judge ourselves is the worst judge that ever existed. The way we judge ourselves is the worst judge that ever existed. If we make a mistake in front of people, we try to deny the mistake and cover it up, but as soon as we are alone, the judge becomes so strong, the guilt is so strong, and we feel so stupid or so bad or so unworthy. In your whole life, nobody has ever abused you more than you have abused yourself. And the limit of your self-abuse is exactly the limit that you will tolerate from someone else. If someone abuses you a little more than you abuse yourself, well, you will probably walk away from that person. They went over the line. But if someone abuses you a little less than you abuse yourself, you will probably stay in the relationship and tolerate it endlessly. If you abuse yourself very badly, you can even tolerate someone who beats you up, humiliates you, and treats you like dirt. Why? Because in your belief system, you say, quote, I deserve it. This person is doing me a favor by being with me. I'm not worthy of love and respect. I'm not good enough. End quote. We have the need to be accepted and to be loved by others, but we cannot accept and love ourselves. The more self-love we have, the less we will experience self-abuse. Self-abuse comes from self-rejection, and self-rejection comes from having an image of what it means to be perfect and never measuring up to that ideal, that perception. Our image of perfection is the reason we reject ourselves. It is why we don't accept ourselves the way we are, and why we don't accept others the way they are. Everybody deals with all this in different ways. The thing that has worked for me personally, being a person of the way, has been to look at the characteristics of the Father and to look at the life and examples of Christ, Yeshua. Need I say more? It helps to bring you back to self-compassion and self-love. It helps to bring you back to self-worthiness. It helps to forgive yourself and in all those ways be able to work outward from that. Is it easy? No. But it's consistently there for the choosing if you choose to look at things from that perspective. Now you can go into rat-tailing in that arena as well. Here's a hint. If you're under condemnation, not the perception that Yeshua meant. If you're under condemnation, it's not the way Yeshua intended it to be. So pick another perspective. And those perspectives that you pick that help you feel better, put them in your back pocket and cling to them as often as you need to keep your vibrations high. As my friend Marianne says, there is nothing more important than keeping your vibrations high in these times. In any times, really, but especially these. My goodness. What a beautiful way to look at life and choose. Some would say that you end up running over some people's perceptions or wishes or desires, that expectations that they have for you, in their world, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta accept everything in, but you don't. You can only help ultimately yourself, and the more you do of that, the more you're able to give, the more you're open to receive, because you're not behind a wall anymore. And it takes time and perseverance. Gotta keep this going. Let's see. Outmost from My Highest by Oswald Chambers. Taking possession of our own soul. By your patience possess your souls. That's from Luke 21:19. By your patience possess your souls. When a person is born again or is awakened, there is a period of time when he or she does not have the same vitality in his or her thinking or reasoning that he or she previously had. We must learn to express this new life within us. I'm going to dedicate this one out to my friend Jason, our benevolent host here at 3 Points. He just went through an experience that this might call to him about. Jason, this one's for you. Let's repeat it. When a person gets a new perspective, there is a period of time when he does not have the same vitality in his thinking and reasoning that he previously had. It may be more vitality, or, well, to each their own on that one. We must learn to express this new life within us, which comes by forming the mind of Christ. See Philippians 2:5. Philippians 2:5. Luke 21:19 again means, by your patience possess your souls. By your patience possess your souls. Interesting that there's a S in there. Means that we take possessions of our souls through patience. But many of us prefer to stay at the entrance to the awakened life, instead of going on to create and build our soul in accordance with the new life God has placed within us. That new information, that new knowledge, that new wider perspective. We fail because we are ignorant of the way God has made us, and we blame things on the devil that we are actually the results of our own undisciplined natures. Undisciplined natures, Jason will be the first one to tell you, watch your thoughts. That's a big one for him. Just think what we could do, what we could be when we are awakened to the truth, that we create our reality. And for all those realities that bump up against us, because we are here in a free will world, you can choose. You can choose where your thoughts are. You can choose to have the patience to collect your soul up and decide where you want to take it and who you want around it. What best vibration suits you? And is there anything wrong with that? Why would there be? It's your life, right? Just think what we would be when we are awakened to the truth. There are certain things in life that we need not pray about. Moods, for instance. Oh, I think we should pray for good moods. Oh, I definitely do think we should pray for good moods. We will never get rid of moodiness by praying. Oh, that. No, we will get rid of moodiness by practice. To not be moody. Reeling ourselves back in. We will never get rid of our moodiness by praying, but we will be kicking it out of our lives. Oh! Yes, I don't read these before I go on. Moods nearly always are rooted in some physical circumstance, not in our true inner self. It is a continual struggle not to listen to the moods which arise as a result of our physical condition. Capture those thoughts. But we must never submit to them for a second. Hell no. We have to pick ourselves up by the back of our neck and shake ourselves. Then we will find that we can do what we believe we were unable to do. The problem that most of us are cursed with is simply that we won't. The awakened life is one of spiritual courage and determination lived out in our flesh. Now, to finish this off, it's kind of a personal note. Something I've been talking to my friend Ember about. Ember with an E, by the way. We're talking about expectations the last week. Oh, there's so many things to be said about expectations, but here's what I've been taking away and why I want to share this. We focus on not having expectations, to not be disappointed, and to not demand of others what isn't reality in their world. Everybody has expectations. In many ways, in many facets, people have expectations. Like having expectations that no one will have expectations on you, that's an expectation. Just came up with that one. This is what I wrote in my automatic writing this morning. I'll let the words do the talking. Dear me, what are we doing? What we are doing seems to be in the up and up. This is again my automatic writing from this morning. Dear me, what we are doing seems to be in the up and up. Let's talk about why. Is it have to do with expectations? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Or am I raising up unafraid? It's not the first time I've raised up suddenly, unafraid. So it's me rising up then. Yes. Hope? Question mark. Does hope equal expectations? Question mark. No. I know I may never see him again. This is the personal part. I know I may never see him again. Same as I know I may. All possibilities are available. I rise up because I'm willing to accept that I'll be okay. Any which way, I rise up in hope because I know in my heart that he, this is Scott by the way, is and will be okay. Rising up is what people that come from the heart do. And I know he comes from his heart. I would not feel as free as I do now if we both did not genuinely come from our hearts. So what will be, will be. No expectations needed, because I believe any which way, the love will never fail us again. Wishing him the best, Siri. Expectations. What if your expectation and the people you surround yourself with have more to do with the core of that person's, for whatever which way you may perceive them in that moment? Do you know if they come from the heart? Do you come from the heart? Everything will be okay. If that's the case, that's your only expectation, is to know that that truth will hold, and if you have faith in each other, if you have faith in yourself, that that's where you come from, well, you should find a lot of freedom and hope and a whole hell of a lot of encouragement from that. I love you guys very much. I'll talk to you tomorrow.